All right, all right. We are live. Wow. Guys, this is day 3 of why you're not losing weight on your low carb diet and what to do about it. I'm a little late today, as you can see. I'm just kind of settling back into my house. I've been away for quite a while. So I'm super excited to talk to you about this today because here's the thing. As we get older, life changes, right? I mean, when I was 30 pounds heavier, even 20 pounds heavier, I just want to add, I had pain in my hip. And I thought it was like a basic overuse injury, right? I mean, and I went to the doctor and I took an x-ray and he's like, your hips really aren't bad. So he didn't really know why I was, experiencing this joint pain. And the thing is I love to like walk and I do a little bit of running, not a ton, but a little bit. And that's just, it's like my pleasure. But the thing is once I cut out the sugar and lost the weight, hip pain was absolutely gone. What was interesting was the doctor couldn't really have that conversation with me. It was clear I had weight to lose. And I always find it interesting that doctors are not really educated about staying well. They're educated to help someone when they're sick. So I can't blame the doctor, but I would have loved for a doctor to have told me that it's time to like lose some weight and see if that helps, right? All right, guys. So welcome everyone. Welcome to those on IGTV. Welcome to those in my free Facebook community, Sugar Breakthrough Community. If you're in the community, you are watching this slideshow as well. Those of you on IGTV, please, I invite you, join us on Facebook. This is where the conversation is happening. So if you have joint pain, let me know. I'm curious because here's the thing. There's a whole bunch of stuff associated as we get older. It's not just women, it's not just middle age per se, but the truth is as we get older, there's a lot of stuff, right, that starts going on. You may feel things like, menopausal symptoms like hot flashes, or maybe you're just, you can't like get into your clothes anymore. I mean, I started when I was younger, I was very down on aging because I felt like I was going to say goodbye to being an attractive woman. Okay, this is really how I thought. I thought it meant that I was going to inevitably get sick. I would not have energy to do the things that I love to do. I am an avid walker. I love to travel. But the thing is middle age means something different for all of us. Okay, I'm sure you guys would agree upon that. Hey, if you're on, can you please say hello? I would love that. Even if you're watching on replay, just say hello. It always makes me feel so good to know that someone's listening, that I'm not just talking to myself. So maybe at this stage of the game, you're ready to, you want to get on the floor and play with the kids, the grandkids, or you want to have the energy to play with your dog, to travel, to, see the world, or maybe use the time to develop hobbies. Maybe there's some hobbies that you've been wanting to do. Maybe you decided you wanted to take up golf or, even any hobby but any hobby requires energy, right? It's not just a physical stamina, but sometimes you need also mental acuity. Like I've started playing mahjong and canasta, and it's funny how we, follow in the footsteps of our mothers or grandmothers with all of that. But, or maybe at this time of your life, you just want to find love. Maybe you're in a situation where you're alone and you'd like to meet somebody. So, whatever it is, when we are working, a low carb plan, we want to know that we're going to regain that stamina, the energy, so we can do really most anything that we want to do. So, the bottom line is we need to figure out why our low carb plan is not working. And it's always a series of tweaking. And this is really what I help my clients with because, anybody can hand you a diet plan, but it's, as they say, this is a great saying, and I don't know who's responsible for it. Maybe Mies van der Rohe. But the saying is, God is in the details. And it's really true. When you are learning something like a low carb plan, it's really all about understanding not just the plan, not following a plan blindly, but understanding how to work that plan, how to problem solve, how to tweak, because chances are you're not just going to be on that plan for a week or two or even a month. Most of us have more than 5-10 pounds to lose. So the fact that you're going to be on the plan for a while requires you to really understand what you're doing. Now, let me quickly tell you before we jump into the third common mistake that is the reason that Sugar Breakthrough has 2 plans. Within the umbrella of the Sugar Breakthrough weight loss plan, I have 2 programs, the Pro Plan and the Essentials Plan. The Pro Plan is the plan that will really accelerate your weight loss. It's going to give you great results early on, which is very motivating. And you can take it all the way to goal. Perfectly healthy. It's not a true ketogenic diet, but we have the ability to tweak it if you want to go into a ketogenic diet. That's really how personalized Sugar Breakthrough is. Now, I also have the Essentials Plan, and the Essentials Plan it's a low carb plan, but you can use it for moderate weight loss. You can also use it to slow down that weight loss. Some people, like me, live on the Essentials Plan because it helps me manage my weight so that I can go out and have cake, on someone's birthday and feel like I'm part of the group, when everyone's enjoying pizza night or whatever. And I'm not trying to lose weight. I just want to maintain my weight. So the Essentials Plan is going to slow down your weight loss a bit and help you as you approach maintenance. And an important part of what we learned in Sugar Breakthrough in the weight loss group is how to move through different phases of low carb living. So we accommodate weight loss all through the journey. Because here's the thing, you want to be able to lose weight, you want to know how to maintain the weight, you want to understand how to live the lifestyle. Those are the 3 phases that we deal with, that we cover in Sugar Breakthrough. Okay, so just a quick reminder, I'm going to jump in right now, but just a fast reminder that the super sale is winding up and it is going to be over in just a couple of days. So if you haven't had a chance to check it out, the link is in the bio. The link is also at the top of our Facebook group, and it's in a whole lot of posts. I'll put it in the comments in this post on Facebook as well. For those of you on IGTV, just check out my bio. Okay, now let's get back to the important factors that we all need to pay attention to, because these are the very factors that could be stalling your weight loss. But first, I want to quickly, I promise it'll be fast, but let's go ahead and review what we talked about yesterday. Yesterday was day 2, and we talked about the fact that there are certain foods that will actually prevent your weight loss. So some of those foods are listed right here on this slide. So things like artificial sweeteners, diet sodas, non-fat products that generally anything that's non-fat, you have to assume has either more sugar or more artificial sweetener. Because here's the thing, you're not going to buy a product if it's not palatable, right? So that's okay. Alcohol, it's a bummer, but the thing is if you're overindulging in alcohol, it's going to prevent your weight loss because, as I mentioned yesterday, your liver gets very busy processing that. If it's processing that, it is not using fat. It's not converting your fat to ketones for energy. Instead, it's going to start using the energy that's coming from the alcohol. Your body will use that and your liver is going to be busy detoxifying. Also, things like low-carb processed foods. A lot of people are buying keto-friendly products and they have a place here and there. But if you find that you are using a lot of these products, you got to let go of them. Those are the things, if you're stuck, that could be preventing you from getting where you need to be, okay? I also added yesterday dairy. Dairy is really important because, if you're eating fatted dairy, which you should be if you're on a low-carb plan, but it could be the fat, but also some people are just really sensitive to dairy, and you may not know it. Food sensitivities are super, super common. Many people have no idea. So also things like, low carb bars and protein powders, it's important to take a closer look. So if you have any questions on any of that, let me know. I'll be going all week with this series of why you're not losing weight on your low-carb diet and what to do about it, and I will be answering your questions and addressing your comments, so feel free. All right, let's dive into common mistake number 3. All right, these are really important factors that you should be paying attention to, and some of them might seem redundant. I may have discussed some of these things before, but if it's redundant, I want you to know that it's important. If I keep mentioning it, it's important. Oftentimes we think that, little things like, mindset or food prep or cleaning out your kitchen or, which I'm not talking about today, but I'm just saying, like, we think that those things are minor and people are usually like, hey, just give me the diet plan. But it's not the diet plan that holds people's backs. It could be other factors. So let's dive into some of that right now. So stress and lack of sleep can disrupt your hormonal cycles. Now, why is your hormonal cycle really, really important here right now? Well, sleep is part of your hormonal system. And needless to say, it is so important for your health. Last week, I discussed melatonin. So if you want to learn a little bit more about that, I suggest that you tune into that. But sleep issues overall are super common. We feel anxiety. I was telling my daughter that the other night, I had a really, really bad dream. And I woke up in a panic attack. And that is literally never happened to me. I didn't feel well yesterday all day. I thought I had coronavirus, but I had taken a test and I was negative that day. And I took it before I had the panic attack, but I had a really, really bad dream. I woke up with my heart pounding. I could not go back to sleep for hours. And I just really did not feel well the whole rest of the day. And you know what I did? I wanted comfort food. So sleep could be getting in the way, not only because it could add on to any sort of cravings that you have for energy because you're lacking energy, but also because it messes with your hormonal system. And it's just so important to feeling good and keeping your body running the way that it should be. Whether it's quality or quantity of sleep, those are two things that you really, really need to pay attention to. Having good sleep hygiene, and I don't mean that you brush your teeth and wash your face, although that's part of a good sleep routine, but having good sleep hygiene, meaning that you're in a dark, slightly cooler room, you have no blue light running, your shades are closed, you use your room primarily for sleep and sex. Not to be blunt, but your bedroom should not be a workspace. It should not be it should be used for sleep. And it's like you're training your mind. And I want you guys to all think about, what is your sleep routine? How do you transition yourself mentally for that time of day? Do you have some sort of sleep habits that you follow each night that allows that melatonin to come out so that your body goes to sleep, so that you get sleepy naturally? So some thoughts are, besides brushing up your teeth, washing your face, getting into your pajamas, whatever, also you need to kind of train your mind that this is time for sleep. So it may be sitting down to a good book, something you really enjoy. Sometimes I'll take my iPad and I'll just play canasta against the computer. It relaxes me. Yes, it's blue light. So you got to decide what bothers you. I'll tell you something else that relaxes me that's a little bit against conventional wisdom. Sometimes I'll just turn on the TV, and I try not to listen to the news. That was actually why I had a really bad dream, you guys, because I'd watched cable news before I went to bed, and I just became so disturbed. But things like, even maybe you're a knitter, or maybe it's a good time you want to have a conversation with someone. Something that's not overly stimulating to you. A lot of people are using blue light glasses. There's kind of mixed research on that, but it's a thought. Okay, so sleep is one of these really important factors that we need to pay attention to that could be standing in the way of your weight loss. The next factor is being overly focused on a number. Now, I know you're probably thinking, hey, of course I'm focused on a number. I want to lose weight, right? But the thing is how many of you weigh yourself every day? Just write every day in the comments if you're weighing yourself every day. Now, if you weigh yourself once a week, say once a week in the comments. If you weigh yourself less than once a week, say less in the comments. Here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with weighing yourself. Naturally, that's just a data point. But the thing is if you're overly focused on a number and you're weighing yourself too often, what's going to happen is you're going to see the natural fluctuations of the fluids in your body. It's just natural, guys. We've got about 4 pounds floating around in us. And sometimes your body is holding on to all 4 of those pounds, and sometimes it's not. So you have to be realistic about the mental toll that the scale is taking on you, and also B, about is it really showing your progress, or is it just kind of like messing with your brain? I have clients that weigh themselves every day. They're very insistent. I don't personally recommend that, but my clients, they can do whatever they want, of course, whatever feels good to them. I recommend once a week, sometimes even twice a month. is enough. Because the idea is that you want to see that general trend. Now, you'll still see the general trend if you're a daily weigher, as long as it's not putting you on this emotional roller coaster where you see that number and that number is going to drive you to eat or in some other way sabotage yourself, okay? So let me know, does that, okay, Claire, you're doing it daily, gotcha. Let me know, guys, I want to know. So being overly focused on a number, I mean, naturally, we all want that number to go down on the scale, but if you're overly focused, this may get frustrating and it doesn't necessarily reflect your efforts if you're weighing too often. I would suggest, like, if you use My Fitness Pal, they'll create a chart for you. You can certainly create your own chart, but the idea is to don't be overly focused on the number, be overly focused on the big picture, the journey. And the journey, when it comes to that number, you can see it better in some sort of graph form or chart, whatever feels good to you. But that's what I would do. Weight loss stalls, you guys, they're really, really common. So don't get too hung up if your weight loss stalls. I mean, again, that's where coaching really pays off because I got so many tricks up my sleeve that I share with clients. But because they're so common, I suggest that you have more than one data point beside the number on the scale. So what are some of those data points that you can really get a better idea of your success overall? The first thing is take your measurements. You guys, measurements are really, really powerful. Many times, especially if you're working on your body composition and maybe you're using weights now, maybe you've taken on walking or running or cycling, that's really going to help you measure your body composition way more than a number on a scale, right? That's actually what your body composition is made up of. It's more of like the measurements and how your body is looking. Also, you can create smaller fitness goals. So if you were, walk a mile and a quarter, and see how that feels. That's another way to measure your success. Also, maybe there's like a favorite piece of clothing that, maybe it's your jeans and you really want to wear those jeans in the next couple of months when we're able to walk out our doors a little more freely. Put those jeans front and center in your closet and look at them. You could also, as another way of measuring success, you could also take pictures. So a lot of people love before and after pictures. I have a really hard time getting that from my clients, but because not everyone likes to see pictures of themselves. But I'm telling you, it is so powerful to look at pictures. So what I would suggest at the beginning of your journey is intentionally take a picture of yourself. And then every month, and make it like, don't make it on a day where, I have to feel like really skinny today to take that picture. No. Just be a lot more objective, just like you should be objective about weighing yourself, taking measurements, etc. So do it, on the first of each month, for example. Same position, same place, take a picture. Pictures speak way louder than any sort of number on the scale. I can tell you with all honesty, that I've gotten on the scale at times. I've hated the number I've seen, but yet I say to myself, well, I don't really care about that number because I'm feeling so good in my jeans that I don't even really care. It's not fazing me. So use a variety of touch points so that you don't get frustrated by just that one number on the scale. And is this making sense so far, you guys? Let me know. Does this make sense? Okay, let's move to the next factor. I'm going to move this up so you can see what she's saying. But the next thing is oftentimes people just get really frustrated and they just give up. One thing seems hard. And they're like, oh, forget it. This is too hard. And all of a sudden that script that they play over and over again in their heads just comes right back out. I can't do this. I'm never going to be thin. I'm not meant to be, a size 10. So-and-so, it's so much easier for other people. I'm a loser. All this stuff starts coming up from us because we're not willing to do the work. A business coach said to me, not really that long ago, just a couple of years ago, she said to me, don't ever call weight loss work because you don't want prospective clients to think that it's hard. Well, let me tell you something. It takes effort. I'm not saying that it's manual labor. It's not that hard. Certainly sugar addiction is hard, but thank God it's way easier to solve than an alcohol or a drug addiction. Be so thankful. And it literally, I get people over the hump of cravings in just a few days. It can be that fast. So we can do hard things, you guys. There are much bigger problems in the world. And I'm not minimizing a weight problem because weight problems can also be very serious. Weight problems take a serious toll on your health. And they could mean other more serious things. So in no way am I minimizing this issue. But what I am trying to say is you can do this. You got it. You can do hard things. Don't give up because you reached some sort of, roadblock. Get over it. Work through it. Reach out. Get the support. I think I may have said this a few days ago, but let me just say this. If you're feeling sick, you feel sick, let's put coronavirus aside for a minute. Let's just say that you feel sick. It's not corona time. But you don't want to go to the doctor because you feel sick. You guys, that's what the doctor is for. You should not just be going to the doctor for wellness checkups. You also need to see the doctor when you're not feeling well. That's his or her job. Well, guess what? That's also the job of a weight loss coach like myself. That's what I do. If you're struggling, now is the time. Get the help that you need. If this resonates with you and you find that you're in this cycle, this vicious cycle of dieting, learn how to solve the problems that keep sabotaging you. That's what you need to do. And you can only do it from the support of a professional. Okay, let's move on. I want to share this graphic because I think this graphic is amazingly powerful. Tell me if you guys relate to this graphic of what success looks like. Now, I know, let me see if I can make it a little bigger here. Well, I don't know if that's going to be so helpful. So the drawing on the left is what people think that success looks like. Just that straight line. When I initially lost 22 pounds with Weight Watchers, and people said to me, wow, that was so easy, right? It just seems like you lost it overnight. Okay, I did not lose it overnight. I worked for it. It wasn't that easy. It was a lot of frustration and problem solving and calming myself down and trying to stay in learning mode and not judging myself and not being mad at myself when I had a bad day or not judging myself if I wanted cake, right? The illustration on the right is reality. And this goes with not just losing weight, it applies to any sort of success in most cases. We don't just climb to the top like it's nothing. we work for these things and we problem solve and we take detours and we figure it out. And yes, Claire, I'm with you on that. It is so true. It requires problem solving. It requires support. It requires having a little bit of accountability so that you don't just let this negative mindset take over. This is success. So these factors, I mean, they may not be top of mind for you all the time as weight loss roadblocks, but once you can become aware that this stuff is really important for weight loss, it's going to help you move forward. So, hey, I just want to remind you one last time, Sugar Breakthrough, we are going to be closing registration in, let's see, Thursday, Friday. We're going to be closing registration in 4 days. You will not see this price again. I really went crazy with this. So I really want you to check out what I'm offering because now is the time that you can get this price and these bonuses. I will be offering to everyone who signs up by the end, before registration closes, I'm going to give you a private coaching session. I'm also going to give you a program that I sell called Overcoming Emotional Eating. So I'll put the link in the Facebook post. For those of you on IGTV, please check out my bio. And guys, thank you so much for watching day 3 of Why You're Not Losing Weight on Your Low Carb Diet and What to Do About It. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow for day 4. Talk to you soon.